to the PA guy, I guess. Then we can do it.
At least we'll know pronunciations then of Rude Bush or Roud Bush, whatever you want to say.
Watch it be something completely different.
That's what it's going to be. I just know.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 3 of the 2018 ACHA Division I National Championships. Sam Fleming and Cristiano Simonetta joining you here for Adrian and Stony Brook. What should be a fantastic game as the players are coming out for these starting lineups. I want to get your thoughts briefly. Two very good teams here. Adrian 30-1, their only loss coming to Stony Brook. What are you looking forward to the most?
Well, I'm looking to see who gets on the score sheet first. In that game you're mentioning where Stony Brook beat Adrian, November 18th. Stony Brook got the first 2 goals. Adrian tied it up in the third period, but Devin Palmieri, under 5 minutes to go in the third period, sealed the deal for the Seawolves. And I think whatever team is going to be able to light that lamp first may have the best chance of starting off this hockey game on the right foot.
And in the tournament, only one game has the team that has scored first not gone on to win. That was Stony Brook, who won it last night against Pittsburgh. It should be interesting to see as the number 2 ranked Adrian Bulldogs take on the number 15 ranked Stony Brook Seawolves. As we're going to briefly, shortly here, send it down to Andy Stores for the starting lineups. Again, we're here at the Ice House in Columbus, Ohio, connected to the Blue Jackets Nationwide Arena, as now we'll send it down to Andy Stores.
Fans and fans watching the live webcast on the ACHA YouTube network, welcome to the Ohio Health Ice House in Columbus, Ohio, for the 2018 American Collegiate Hockey Association Men's Division I National Championship Tournament, hosted by the Greater Columbus Sports Commission, the Columbus Blue Jackets, and the Ohio Health Chiller Ice Rinks. This is ACHA Public Address Announcer Andy Stores. Today's game number 7 today features on the visiting bench the number 15 ranked Stony Brook University Seawolves. Against the home team bench, the number 2 ranked Adrian College Bulldogs. Let's meet the starting lineups for this evening's game. First, on the visiting bench, the Stony Brook University Seawolves. In goal, a sophomore from Schenectady, New York, number 1, Brandon Rathwell. On defense, a sophomore from Brick, New Jersey, number 5, Kyle Hoon. On defense, a senior from Yonkers, New York, number 27, Frank Scherding. At center, a senior from Valley Stream, New York, number 19, Ori Benyamini. At left wing, a sophomore from Montvale, New Jersey, number 71, Devin Palmieri. And at right wing, a senior from Wayne, New Jersey, number 14, Brendan Calello. The head coach of the Seawolves is Chris Garofalo. His associate head coach is Colin Brumstead. Their assistants are Sandy Galati and Ken Hoey. The athletic trainer is Penelope Zervatis. And now let's meet the home team bench, the Adrian College Bulldogs. In goal, a senior from Toledo, Ohio, number 56, Austin Raudebush. On defense, a sophomore from Leamington, Ontario, number 4, J.P. Gino. On defense, a freshman from Calgary, Alberta, number 25, Dan Stone. At center, a sophomore from Calgary, Alberta, number 14, Rainer Glimple. At left wing, a sophomore from Woodhaven, Michigan, number 19, Dominic Moore. And on right wing, a sophomore from Etobicoke, Ontario, number 16, Marcus Rose. The head coach of the Bulldogs is Gary Hastelos. His assistants are Aaron Bain and Max Gavin. The athletic trainer is Meg Sharp. Equipment manager is Jason Hickey. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise and kindly remove all caps. And join me, soloist Andy Stores and organist Carrie Lichthart, for the singing and playing of the Star Spangled Banner. by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets yet flare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Our officials for this game, as assigned by the ACHA and the USA Hockey Officials Development Program, our referees are Justin Keenan and Kevin Corbett. Their linesmen are Chad Fuller and Colin Besh. The off-ice official is Andy Storrs. Supervisor of officials are Dan Monticelli and Keith Deval.
And with that, we are set for hockey. Sam Fleming and Cristiano Simonetta here with you to start this game. We saw Stony Brook last night. You watched the game a little bit. One thing we noticed that could help them potentially get around Adrian, a very active defense in the offensive zone. But Stony Brook was there till the end, a very well-conditioned hockey team. How can they jump out and try to get past the Bulldogs and possibly pull off the first upset of the tournament?
Well, you can't let them to get to the middle area of the ice, and you often hear that phrase. It's a common cliche in hockey, but a team like Adrian that's so sound fundamentally, so quick through the middle, through those circles, as long as you maybe stand them up at the opposite blue line, that's going to jumpstart your rush the other way.
Glimpel and Bignamini to take the draw here as we're going to open it up. Underway, Adrian wins the opening draw, and they'll work it back in their defensive zone. Now they're going to break it up ice and look to stretch it, and it's deflected into the netting right off the bat by number 16, Marcus Rose.
And we're only 9 seconds into this game, but as you saw at the top of your screen, if you're tuning in on YouTube, Frank Sherding at the top, at the blue line, his own blue line, took 3 or 4 steps to try and cut off that stretch pass, not allowing any easy ice for Adrian in the early going.
Sherding was one of the big players last night in Stony Brook's 8-1 win over Pitt. We'll keep our eyes on number 27, the captain for the Seawolves. Renault works it deep, trying to break it out. It's Bignamini over to pressure. It comes free to the slot. Now skating up ice is number 19, Dominic Moore. Moore will chip it into the far corner, looking for Rose. Rose settles it down, cycles it low for Moore. Playing it off the cycle is Glimpel. Glimpel floaters it out in the middle. Quick shot on, saved by Rathwell. A one-time shot from Moore is just fanned on. Still in control are the Bulldogs down low. Now it works its way to Bignamini, who's knocked down. As it'll be worked back up top to the point. Quick shot on, saved by the goaltender, Rathwell. Stony Brook will clear the zone, but early pressure here from the Bulldogs, something you would expect to see from the number 2 ranked team.
Yeah, Dominic Moore looking for his 20th goal this season. Number 19's got to be someone to circle.
As offsides here from Adrian. We talked about Rathwell a little bit before the game, a very aggressive goaltender. He likes to come out and play the puck, but he's got to be careful. With a team like Adrian that can pounce on these loose pucks, you might see Rathwell tone it down a little bit.
And I think Dan Stone, number 25 for Adrian, may want to look at a slap pass option along the low slot. If you see a goaltender challenging that far out of his blue paint, may want to go back door.
As Stony Brook will now control the puck. It's going to be played by number 22, Brendan Pepe, who stretches it around for Murphy. Now Murphy into the offensive zone. It's knocked off his stick, though, by number 17, Archie McKinnon. Chip back into the corner, though. Stony Brook still in control in their offensive zone. Murphy will cycle it down low. It's looking for O'Brien. And now McKinnon tries to break it out. And coming the other way is Adrian. 2-on-2 opportunity, looking for the back door. An attempted pass there from number 27, Braden Coburn. And you can see Adrian's really trying to move the puck, stretch the ice. It's been a good start so far for the number 2 team. Now they just got to get some shots on goal.
And it's been coming from their top guys, too, on that last chance. The pass from Coburn, Joe Costello, 49 points in the regular season.
And now here comes a chance, though, for Stony Brook. It's Peck. Peck comes into the offensive zone, but a great defensive play from number 28, Marcel Kotek. As we see Adrian able to get back, but it's still going to be Slavin who was trying to chip it to the slot. Now Stony Brook still working it in the offensive zone. Now Riccardi shot off the post. He had a short-handed goal, the first one for Stony Brook last night. Seemed to give them the energy. And now Slavin tries to walk it out in front. Backhand shot saved by the goaltender, Raud Bush.
You can't be fooled by these rankings here, Sam. 15 versus 2, but as we are watching in the first 2 minutes and 25 seconds, back and forth chances at either end.
And like you said, rankings are not indicative of these teams. Stony Brook had 21 wins, and even though 30-1 in number 2, you can see why Adrian was one of those top teams. They've come out aggressive here, but Stony Brook's been able to combat the speed from Adrian. It's been a good start for both teams. Stony Brook wins the draw, but it's going to be held in at the point. Now they'll regain it. It's going to be Burns who stretches it down the ice, and this will go for icing. One of the things Stony Brook had to their advantage, the face-off wins last night. They were very dominant in each end of the ice, including the neutral zone. So keep your eyes for Stony Brook, one of the best face-off teams here at the tournament.
And that's why they have such an active defense. Once you get guys going, you can even have the defense lead the rush, which is something you don't often see in ACHA teams. With the Seawolves, time and time again, they've done it.
Draw to the left-hand side of Rathwell. It's won by Fisher. And a quick shot on throw right of the net. Now Stony Brook will try to break it out of the zone. Coming up the ice is number 52, Sean Hart. Now into the zone is number 24, Jack Navakasi. Navakasi down low, battling with J.P. Greneau. It's worked free into the corner now by number 25, Dan Stone. As Stone attempts to break it out, he cycles back down low for Greneau, who works behind his net. Now Greneau will skate up ice. He's knocked down, and we're going to have the first call to hear against Stony Brook. And if you're the Seawolves, this is something you didn't want to happen with 16:53. You're going to give Adrian the first man advantage of the game.
Especially an offensive zone penalty. This early into the first period, any momentum that Stony Brook had offensively, it's now been extinguished from Cosina taking that minor penalty.
So Cosina will go to the box with a minor penalty, and it's a 2-minute opportunity for Adrian early in the hockey game to try to get this lead. A big win by Stony Brook. Loose puck, though, comes to Adrian. As Stony Brook able to clear, though, and now it will be settled by Kotek. Greneau holds it. Skating up ice now, Adrian trying to work it into the offensive zone. Backhand pass from Joe Costello, and it's deflected on as Greneau will pinch in and hold the zone. Now Stony Brook will get it and send it down the ice by the way of Kyle Hoon.
And there was an attempt at that high slot redirect, getting pucks to the front, but also redirecting them to try and get the goaltender out of position. One
of the most important things you've seen in this tournament is a trend. If you get traffic on net, usually there's a good opportunity to get a goal. Now coming in as Stony Brook able to recover is a great offensive zone pressure from Adrian, but we've seen Stony Brook's defense. They've been solid to start this game, something we said to keep our eyes on. We'll see if they can eventually translate into the offense.
Yeah, we touched on it in the abbreviated pregame show, is that if you allow Adrian to cycle, they're going to make you pay, and Stony Brook not allowing that early on.
As Rathwell will come out to play at a very active goaltender. It's going to be held in at the point by Adrian, but a great block there from Palmieri. Now thrown to the slot. Adrian moving the puck really well, loose out in front, and trying to stuff it home was Raynard Gimple, but a good cover up by Rathwell, as we haven't really seen Adrian so far in this first minute and 10 seconds really get a good opportunity to set up their power play.
Yeah, they're being forced to the outside, and you see that quick touch pass at the top of the circle and then down low on the goal line. It's an aggressive Stony Brook penalty kill that's forcing them along those walls, saying, hey, beat me one-on-one, and then we'll see after that how we're going to deal with it.
Good win from Stony Brook in the defensive zone as they are able to clear it out. And so far, the dominance has translated for the Seawolves in the faceoff circle, seeming like they've won almost every draw except the opening one. Now an aggressive play from Rathwell as he knocks down his man, and they're going to get a penalty on the goaltender.
Reminds me a lot of Tim Thomas against the Sedin Twins in the 2011 Stanley Cup Final. This little forearm shiver from Rathwell, 15:28 left in the first.
And Gimple was the player driving hard to the net, and you gotta, if you're Rathwell, you have to be careful. That's one of those plays that can lead to a goal where the player can pull it out and just put it in on the empty net. Now, for Adrian, a 5-on-3 for 35 seconds. A lot of open ice to move that puck.
And it's been the second turnover already for Rathwell in the first 4:32.
So 5-on-3 for 35 seconds, which is more than enough time for Adrian to possibly pop home 2 goals if they can move the puck and set up a power play.
And if you're Rathwell there, you just have to pick your spots. If you realize that the puck's coming in on your stick and it's clean and you have that exit with a saucer pass, take it. But if there's any sense of hesitation, just ring it around the wall.
As Stony Brook's going to win the draw and send it down ice. A huge win to start off this 5-on-3. Now Raudebush will settle it down. It's going to be carried by Greneau. Greneau stretches it over for number 26, Joe Costello. Costello chips it down low. As Adrian now able to try to set it up. Kotek looking back door for his man. Now it's going to be back to Kotek. Tees a shot up, almost redirected out in front. But a good save from Rathwell. And Adrian still able to hold the zone. 5 seconds remaining here on the first part of the 5-on-3. Adrian will still have a man advantage trying to work it out in front. Rathwell able to make a pad save on the shot from Brad Kober. Working it up top. Kotek. Now over to Greneau. Greneau steps in, shot redirected wide of the net. The pressure picking up here from the Bulldogs. Kotek. Coburn, quick shot, rips it high over the net and into the netting, but finally Adrian able to set something up, and they get a couple good shots with some great goaltending so far from Brandon Rathwell.
And a play in the Bulldogs power play that you're going to want to look to if they get more opportunities. They have that left defenseman or right defenseman skate along the line, opening up the right or the left wing chance, and that was a shot from Coburn that just missed the glove of Rathwell. They seem to be going high on him.
Draw one by Stony Brook once again as they attempt to clear it out of the zone. Adrian able to hold it in. End up on the near side glass. Finally works its way free to Gimple. Now working it up top for number 19. Dominic Moore. As he tried to make a pass and it's intercepted. And here comes Stony Brook, possibly with a shorthanded rush, and they will just chip it into the zone. As Donaldson will pick it up. 14 minutes remaining here in the opening period. We're still scoreless between Adrian and Stony Brook. Donaldson, though, going coast to coast, makes a nice couple moves. He'll work it down deep. Now moving it up top. Cutting to the middle is Josh Hosking. Quick shot thrown wide of the net, and Stony Brook able to clear it out off the boards. And now another shorthanded rush as Colello walks into the offensive zone trying to cut to the slot. Saved by Raudebush, it'll be chipped into the corner. But we've seen Stony Brook here play well shorthanded as they'll be able to kill off this 5-on-3. That's a huge start here from the Seawolves.
Yeah, they got two guys in the corner. Adrian has 4, and they're still able to kill off valuable seconds of that penalty to kill it off.
And now they'll get an icing call here. But when you have a team like Adrian, who's really good and effective at scoring goals, we mentioned 30-1 record, and during that season, 20-0 at home. But Stony Brook, a team that's a little bit lower ranked, but we saw their offensive pressure and solid defense, and they have some good conditioning. This should be a really entertaining game based on the start that we've seen. Yeah,
I think resiliency is going to be a term we use throughout this game, especially if it gets past 3 frames of regulation. It's the playoffs. Anything can happen. All it takes is one bounce, and we can have a different storyline.
Slavin wins the draw. It's Hoon who throws a quick shot on, redirected just wide of the net, and that was almost a beautiful tip from Stony Brook to try to get the 1-0 lead early on Adrian.
And the Seawolves bench almost jumped up prematurely with 13:04 left in the first period, but it's another example, you mentioned it, traffic to the front of the net. Even the best goaltenders, if you got a body in front of you, maybe 2, some sticks, anything can happen, and one shot, I just touched on it the last break, can be the difference.
And Raudebush was going to that far post. He thought that shot was maybe going towards that top right corner, but it fooled him, luckily just a few inches off the line. And we've just seen this pressure from Stony Brook continue from last night. A team that already played against a team that's fresh in Adrian. As a quick face-off, it's going to be Riccardi who picks it up. Now battling for it, Adrian's able to clear. And now Hoon will be able to play it back in his defensive zone. Stretches it over for number 2, Joe Heffernan. Now Adrian will try to pick up the loose puck. Heffernan flips it high up into the air. And they say it touched the netting, as Jordan Oshwe touched it, but the offensive zone face-off wins and defensive zone draws have been dominated by Stony Brook. Like I said earlier, that was a key in their win last night. What does Adrian need to do to try to win some of those face-offs, but also hold it into the offensive zone and even get it out of the defensive zone?
Well, sometimes you have to have that left or right winger come in and help you out, maybe tie up the guy off the draw. Go backhand, go forehand, switch it up, because if you become predictable, it's going to be a one-sided affair in the terms of the Seawolves winning the draws all game long.
They have multiple guys that can win draws. It's impressive when you have one stout face-off man. It seems like Stony Brook has multiple stout face-off men as they're working it deep in their defensive zone. Adrian applying the pressure. Now working it up top to McKinnon. McKinnon tees one off. It was just deflected wide. I believe that number 27, Frank Sheridan, got a pad on that and deflected it into the corner. As now Burns trying to work it out. It's held in. And Adrian will work it in. Now it's played over to McKinnon. McKinnon, quick shot on save by Rathwell. Burns trying to clear it out. He's hit hard. And now Stony Brook is going to get their first power play of the afternoon. So a good opportunity after killing off a 5-on-3. They get their first chance to shine on the power play. They were not as effective, though, as they'd like to have been last night. 0 for 4. How do they change that? In a big game against a team like Adrian, one goal can make the difference.
Space them out. I think when you have those two forwards pressuring at the line, quick passes. Look what Adrian did on that 5-on-3. They had a number of opportunities to get shots on goal, but keep moving it cross ice to make sure Raudebusch moves out of his crease. If he starts to get comfortable, he's going to be in that groove. 22-0 in the regular season.
An impressive record for a goaltender. You don't see that too often at ACHA play. As Pepe walks in, quick shot thrown high over the net. Adrian trying to possess it, but it'll be held in by Stony Brook. Slavin works it up to Pepe. Benyamini plays it down low for Palmieri. Palmieri up top to Pepe. Pepe back to Palmieri on the half wall. He plays it up top once again to Pepe. Quick shot on from Palmieri, almost redirected again. We've seen Stony Brook, get sticks on pucks and make some good redirections. A good pass for Palmieri in the slot. Just hopped over his stick. So far, though, the Seawolves working this power play really well. Quick shot on from Colello out in front, and Adrian in some desperation trying to clear it out. It's still not out. Pepe able to hold it in for Palmieri, just out of his reach, but Benyamini will play it back up top to Palmieri. Ori Benyamini trying to work on the wall. Now McKinnon will finally get possession and clear it out, but a great start from Stony Brook. Finally, Adrian able to get it out, but we see the pressure in favor of the Seawolves.
Especially along the half walls, too. When there's a 50-50 battle, they have support right away, and that's a reason why they're able to funnel shots and pucks in the offensive zone with ease on this power play so far.
Sheridan plays it up to Peck. Now into the zone. Charles Peck chips it down low for Murphy. Riccardi works down low, trying to chip it up for Peck. Peck down low to Riccardi. Knocked off his stick, but it's help. He gets some help from Peck. Riccardi works it deep, cycles it up for Peck. Out top for Hoon. Over to Sheridan, back to Hoon, plays it over for Peck. 15 seconds remains on Stony Brook's man advantage. Sheridan's shot just thrown wide of the net and will go all the way out of the zone. Nearing the halfway mark of the first period, it's been a good hockey game, still scoreless between these two teams. A much similar start to what we saw in the last game between UNLV and Ohio.
What a game that was, though.
One of the best games of the tournament, went to overtime. UNLV with a lot of pressure, had a good opportunity to win that game, and then Ohio wins it in overtime. One of the most exciting games, but no upsets yet in the tournament, as now Colello will skate up ice. Collision at center. Now Adrian finally will get possession. Sending it into the zone is Joe Costello. And now Stony Brook will try to break it out. Benyamini plays it over to Palmieri. Now for Colello, who's into the offensive zone. Colello tries to make a move. Almost kept control of the puck despite being surrounded by two Adrian defenders. Now working it down low. It's going to be picked up by number 15, Josh Hosking, as he tries to clear it out, and they will. And now here comes a 2-on-1 chance for Adrian. Costello walks in, shot saved by the blocker of number 1, Brandon Rathwell. Working it down low. Stony Brook tries to hold it in. Another blocker save from Rathwell. Adrian trying to throw it out in front. Some pressure here from the Bulldogs, but some great saves from the goaltender Rathwell. Two stout blocker saves from number 1.
And Costello's been the trigger man on both of them. He's been involved in this first playoff game against Stony Brook here. Talk about conditioning. Adrian, though, their skill level alone may be able to force this game in their favor.
As we've started to see a little more energy from Stony Brook, similar to last night. Pitt came out with 2 strong starts at the first and second period, but once the conditioning set in, as we're going to have offsides here, Stony Brook drove home the advantage. And it seems like Adrian's been a little bit caught off guard. Even though these two teams played twice, it's an even series, 1-1, as we're going to have a media timeout here. You're listening to the ACHA National Championships from Columbus.
The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Aries Sportswear, the official merchandise sponsor of the ACHA. Howie's Hockey Tape, the official hockey tape of the ACHA. And by the Three-Legged Mare, located right in the heart of downtown Columbus.
And welcome back after that media timeout. Sam Fleming and Cristiano Simonetta joining you here. So far a great hockey game. You and I were talking about it briefly there. A little bit of a shock start from Stony Brook. They seem like they have the momentum in their favor. What does Adrian need to do that's made them one of the best teams in the country to shift that momentum in their favor?
Win the neutral zone. I think Stony Brook's done an unbelievable job of winning those one-on-one, 50-50 plays, those hoistering drives through the middle area of the ice that have really springboarded their offensive attack. If you're Adrian, cut them down, maybe get the defense more involved, because that has been their key to success this season. The blue liners getting involved on the offensive side.
McKinnon will gain the red line and dump it, and Shearding will get to the loose puck, trying to play it off the boards and break it out. Now here comes Peck, who plays it to the middle. Now it's going to be Riccardi coming in. He's met by a couple Adrian defenders who will chip it into the corner, but still working it down deep is Stony Brook, who's able to get to those 50-50 battles quickly, as you mentioned, Cristiano. Now here comes Slavin out in the slot shot. He just skied it over the net. But those 50-50 battles can decide a hockey game. And right now it's been Stony Brook getting to those loose pucks and managing the offensive zone.
Oh, Joey Slavin, the freshman out of East Northport, New York, in all alone to get his team out in front. The puck just rolled on him. He flipped it up into the netting. That's one he wants to have back. But if Stony Brook's able to clog up Adrian's blue line, they're going to get more chances like that. And that's why we've seen a lack of a chasm between these two clubs despite the rankings.
As Nevi Cossey to take the draw here for Stony Brook. Finally a rare win here for Adrian, as Stone will work it down low, and they will try to break it out. It's knocked down by Burns. They'll send it down ice. No icing here, as Hoon will be the first one to the loose puck. Trying to get it up the wall. Adrian pressuring to hold it in the zone. Chip down low. It's going to be Shearding attempting to clear it out, and they will. Now here they come. Stony Brook into the offensive zone. Quick shot on Pat, saved by Raudebush. Loose puck out in front. Another great save by Raudebush, as he made two great saves there on Michael Cosina. And that goaltender has not been tested very much, Raudebush, but he made a huge save right there. Two saves.
And how did the chance start? A play off the high glass for Stony Brook to spring their guy ahead.
As the other player that was coming in to make follow up was Jack Nevikasi, but two great saves there from Raudebush. And that may be a little bit of a help and energy boost if your goaltender makes a couple big saves. We can see that translate in a hockey game as Shearding works it down low. Heffernan settles it behind the net. Looking for Nevi Cossey. He plays it off the boards. Still in control. And he will chip it in and get a line change. Raudebush will settle it. Plays it over to his defender, Stone. Had a player coming in to pressure Colello. And now Adrian will clear it out of the zone and send it down the ice. This will be icing against the Bulldogs. With 6:32 remaining in the first, we're still scoreless, but there's been plenty of chances for a goal to pop on the board.
And Raudebush on that last play hesitated a bit whether he wanted to cover it, and I think that's because the Seawolves have been so great on faceoffs, trying to keep the play alive, getting out of their own defensive zone, but it ends up being an icing and right back into Raudebush's end.
A good defensive zone win for the Bulldogs, as they will try to break it out of the zone. Playing it off the boards is number 29, Mark Frattacangeli. A little bit of a tongue twister that name is, but as they skate up into the zone, they'll chip it in. They'll be offsides, coming off the stick of number 22, Jordan Oshwe.
An example of Adrian's speed there on that last play, dumped on their side of center, but a pair of Bulldogs able to race in and negate that icing, force Rathwell out to play it. He's already made 2 turnovers, so why not keep throwing him into the fire? If you're Adrian here, make sure he touches that puck, and that he's a little bit on edge whenever he decides to play it.
As Adrian wins the draw, and as you mentioned, we talked about it beforehand that Rathwell's a very active goaltender. Got away with it a bit last night at Pitt, but so far, shot on goal, they score! It's Adrian who makes it 1-0, and a big goal to shift the momentum in their favor.
Frattacangeli beats Rathwell through the chest, 13:59 into the first period. He had 6 goals in the regular season, 24 points. And the Bulldogs faithful here in Columbus are rocking.
The sophomore, number 29, Mark Fratar-Kangeli, gets the first goal of the hockey game, and a bit of a shock. If you look at how well Stony Brook has driven the net, you would have thought maybe they had the best chance for the first goal, but it's the number 2 team in the country who will get the advantage 1-0 here with less than 6 minutes in the first period. As now Stony Brook will try to answer. They gave up the first goal last night and won 8-1. Now Kotek trying to break it out. It's intercepted. Coming into the zone, it's Kowicki. Working it down low around Kotek. Kotek knocks his man down. It's free into the corner for O'Brien. Kowicki. Intercepted by McKinnon down low. You can see Stony Brook has responded well. They're pressuring hard deep in their offensive zone. Now Murphy works it up top. Quick shot from Kowicki thrown wide of the net. And Adrian will try to clear the zone. And now they get it out. And Kowicki plays it to Crockett. Crockett gains the blue line, and they'll be offsides, but a good response from Stony Brook. They put up some energy. They don't like giving up that first goal.
Yeah, the most important shift after allowing a goal, you see the response from the Seawolves. Some offensive zone time. Adrian keeping them to the left and the right points, not allowing shots to get through to Roudabush. And you're going to see a lot of pucks ricocheting off of end boards in this hockey game. Not a lot of room between the circles.
Draw one again by Stony Brook. It's going to be Hoon who gets it. He plays it up for Peck. It just goes out of the reach of his stick. Adrian trying to clear it out of the zone. It's going to be held in here as Peck works it down low. Trying to cut to the middle. He's knocked down, and looks like Stony Brook is going to get a power play here on what should be a tripping call. So after giving up a goal, they've already had one opportunity to get on the power play tonight, unable to convert. Now you get that second opportunity down one. A little bit different of a scenario, but you still have some energy in your favor.
And you have J.P. Gurneau, a sophomore defenseman who had 29 points in the regular season, heading to the sin bin for tripping. One of the best penalty killers on this Adrian team. We'll see if Stony Brook can capitalize.
As the draw is set, and Stony Brook able to win it. It's Riccardi playing it up to Shearding. Shearding plays it back to Riccardi. Down low for Peck. Now Peck plays it into the slot looking for Riccardi, who tried to do a drop pass between the legs. As Shearding's unable to hold the blue line, Stony Brook will have to regroup. Shearding plays it over for Hoon. Hoon skating up ice. Gains the red line, will come into the offensive zone. Here's that first opportunity we've seen a defenseman get in the offensive rush. As Riccardi drops back for Hoon, Adrian will attempt to clear. Battle down low. It's knocked down by Shearding with a high stick. But expect to see more of that from Stony Brook, trying to stretch their defensemen to get in that rush. And we've seen that what they can do with that, it opens up that middle lane and that slot area. We saw a couple goals from Stony Brook last night coming from the slot.
And Cosina's going to be a guy to watch, number 90 in red, as well as Colello, bottom of your screen, number 14. They're playmakers here, and that's what you need against a team like Adrian that is so sound fundamentally in that box formation. If you get those forwards to bite a bit, pinch a little, there may be some space for guys along the wall to get a shot.
Again, Adrian up 1-0, thanks from a goal from Mark Fratar-Kangeli. 1:20 remains on the man advantage for Stony Brook. Pepe plays it over for Slavin. Back to Pepe. Pepe had 2 goals last night for Stony Brook in their 8-1 win. Now he will skate up ice. Gains the red line. He'll dump it in on the net as Roudabush will settle it behind, and Adrian will clear it down ice off Steven Chesky's stick, and it'll be played by Rathwell, who will settle it for number 22, Brendan Pepe. Pepe stretching it for Palmieri. Palmieri over the blue line into the offensive zone. He will take it down low. Pinned up against the wall. A teammate in to help is Colello. Now up to Pepe. Pepe tees a shot up, deflected wide of the net, battling for it down low as Colello tried to play it up the boards. And it'll be cleared out of the zone by Adrian. Now battling for it is Pepe. Some short-handed pressure. It'll work its way to Slavin as Adrian continues to hold this 1-0 lead. Have done a good job killing off the pressure and this man advantage for Stony Brook.
Especially when there's been as much zone time as Stony Brook has had on their power plays tonight. A lot of space up along the center points.
As you see Slavin directing traffic, he finds Colello, who is looking for Pepe. Pepe plays it off the boards, looking for a redirect out in front. Still loose in the slot, trying to find it is Bignamini as they fight for it out in front. Scramble for the puck. And it's going to be covered up. Player falls on top of Raudebush, and we're going to have a little pushing and shoving. And for now, it looks like it's settled, but that was a really good chance on the doorstep there for Stony Brook. But wait, Adrian sticks with it, and their goaltender, number 56, Austin Raudebush, able to make the save.
You got a sense that there's animosity, not only that this is a postseason game, but the fact that these two teams met in mid-November. They don't like each other. It's plain and simple, as Palmieri was dumped onto Raudebush. And if you're Adrian there, incidental or not, you got to give the guy a shove and protect your crease.
And as you mentioned, they met in November. The record for Adrian was 30-1. Their only loss came to this team in red, Stony Brook. So an even series, one team trying to come away with the advantage. And it's in the playoffs here in Columbus, Ohio, at the ACHA Nationals, where Adrian leads it 1-0 here in the first period. As Hoon plays it over, looking for number 90, Michael Cosina. Cosina plays it, and it'll be touched up by Rose and will be offsides against the Bulldogs.
How many more rushes will we see at even strength? Because two very disciplined teams being undisciplined in the first period, only one goal aside. I'm not sure if we would have predicted that coming into the hockey game.
You would have thought, after the way that Stony Brook started yesterday, getting 8 goals, equaling the biggest blowout of yesterday. That was the storyline, as the top-ranked seeds blew away the lower teams. But we thought we might see some offense from Adrian as well, possibly a high-scoring game. It's been a very strong defensive battle, even though there's been that offensive zone pressure.
And I think it's that feeling out process. No matter how well these two teams do know each other, it's a different venue, it's a different type of atmosphere with the postseason.
And also Stony Brook already having played a game. This is Adrian's first of the tournament, as Greneau played it over to his teammate, number 25, Dan Stone. Now an offensive zone chance here, but it's cleared by Stony Brook as they will try to break it out by Slavin. Slavin plays it to Riccardi. Riccardi hit hard at the far side wall, as we've seen the body being thrown around here late in this period. Some good physicality from Adrian. Now Stony Brook, as Hoon pitches in, now here comes a chance for the Bulldogs. They'll break it out of the zone. Rose will gain the blue line, delays, throws a quick shot, and looking for a teammate out in front, and it was almost redirected on the net by Dominic Moore, as we've seen the sticks get in those shooting lanes and passing lanes. Some good redirect opportunities for each team.
Direction from Moore just off the outside of the far post. He thought it was in. He had his arms extended.
As now it's going to be Sheridan who breaks it out, intercepted by McKinnon. He'll flip it back into the corner. As now Hoon will pick it up, plays it off the wall. McKinnon will settle it just outside of the zone, dumps it back in. Adrian regroups and will come back into their offensive zone as Sheridan plays the puck up to Hoon. Now Hoon skates up the wall, was looking for O'Brien. It's now intercepted as Coburn skates into the offensive zone. Here comes Coburn with an offensive zone opportunity, throws it out in front, and it was loose in the blue paint, and Stony Brook's just able to clear it out of the zone. Now it's going to be Crockett looking for Murphy. 1 minute remaining here in the first period. Again, Adrian up 1-0. Kowicki holds the point. Plays it over for Pepe. Pepe, quick shot, just redirected high over the net. Now Adrian will play it up to Coburn. Trying to clear the zone. They'll stretch it out, settled down though by Kowicki. Finger dumps it into the zone. It'll be settled by the goaltender Rathwell. Rathwell plays it back to Kowicki. Crockett played it up for Colello. And now will be picked up by number 27, Brad Coburn. And then Pepe picks it up, plays it over for Kowicki. Now it's Palmieri. Over to Colello. Colello shot saved by the goaltender, Raudebush. 18 seconds remains in the first period. What's been a very entertaining game so far.
On that last shot, you can tell it's a very confident goaltender in Raudebush. He's got video game-like numbers. We talked about it, 22-0 in the season, .91 goals against average, save percentage of .959. Stand-up save on a shot from the circles. He's in another zone right now.
And confidence is key. When you get plenty of shots on net, you can build that, and especially when you have one of the best records as another great save there from Raudebush in the ACHA at 22-0. Something very impressive not to get a loss in a season as they battle down low, trying to work it free, and now it's going to be Adrian who gets it as time will run out on what was a very low-scoring period. Only one goal coming from Adrian but a very entertaining one to say the least from the Bulldogs and the Seawolves. What did you like from each team? And then if you're Stony Brook down 1, what do you have to do to try to even this hockey game?
I like both teams' chances off the rush. There were 2-on-1s for Adrian. The chances weren't going their way. Passes were off the mark. What did they keep doing? They kept driving the net, getting shots on goal, forcing Rathwell to make butterfly saves and push pucks to the high slots. Lots of rebounds there. For Stony Brook, I love their ability when they dump the puck in. They always have support, 1 or 2 guys along the near or far side corners. They don't lose a lot of battles there, and it showed in that opening period. But if you're Stony Brook to try and get back in this hockey game, keep doing what you're doing. You're down 1 goal against the number 2 team in the tournament. You've had your opportunities. You've had your chances. Keep picking, but you have to be very wary of your pinches. Shirting was almost caught a couple times in that opening frame, as well as a couple of the other blue liners on Stony Brook, but nonetheless, just a great period of hockey in postseason play.
A very entertaining period to game number 3 of the day between Stony Brook and Adrian. The Bulldogs find themselves up 1-0. We'll take a commercial break and be back with the call of the second period. You're watching the 2018 National Championships here from Columbus, Ohio. Hello fans and welcome back live inside the Ice House here in Columbus, Ohio, getting ready for the second period of play between Stony Brook and Adrian, the Bulldogs, on top 1-0 after a very great period of hockey. You made an interesting comparison between games that we've seen at this tournament. Talk to the fans about what you've seen that's similar to a game that we just saw on this ice rink beforehand.
Yeah, UNLV and Ohio, they faced off on this very ice surface just before this game between Adrian and Stony Brook. Chances at both ends, opportunities to get on the scoreboard, but goaltenders have been the story. Jimmy Thomas for Ohio in that overtime period made 2 or 3 dynamite saves to keep the Bobcats alive. Gabe Lampron ends up scoring the game-winning goal. Move to this game, 1-0 after 20 minutes, Adrian with the lead. But if you're Stony Brook, you cannot take yourself out of this game. It's a second period of the long change. Take some risks here in the early portions to test out this Adrian defense, see if they'll bend or break.
One of those things about that long change, we didn't see Stony Brook as much last night use their defensemen in the rush. That's something when your guys get a little bit more tired that you have to watch. Something else you mentioned, the physicality. Even though it's been a little bit undocumented, there's been some big hits in this game that have given some energy to Adrian. Would you expect that to continue into the second period? Oh,
absolutely. It's the ACHA National Championship. If you have a chance to finish off a guy in the corner after a dump in, make sure it's clean. Make sure it's the shoulder to shoulder, shoulder to chest, whatever have you. Can't get head contact involved because you can get a guy suspended possibly for further games in the tournament if you end up winning.
Again, one of the other things, Adrian, a dominant team in the ACHA, 30-1, number 2. But it's one of the guys that's not their bigger scorers that gets that first goal. So when you see contributions from these teams, especially in their score, as we have a little pushing and shoving actually in the corner before the game even starts. The period starts. And it's actually their backup goaltender for Stony Brook getting involved, Richard Chipman. And you can see the intensity already picking up before this period starts.
Yeah, right on cue there, the animosity, whatever you want to call it, but you don't often see that before a period starts. While the guys are skating around either end of the rink, you get some pushing and some shoving, and it's from the guys wearing the most amount of pads.
And that's the thing about the long change period, that the players from the opposite team skates around the opposing team's goalie. So there can be some words exchanged before the period starts, and that was something that happened right there. We'll see if there's even penalties before this period starts, as both the captains have been called to talk with the referees.
Well, you can't really give a penalty to Shipman per se. You can have a guy serve it, but that would be huge if one of these teams ends up with the man advantage before you even get the second period puck drop.
Welcome to the national tournament, I guess. We did see that Ohio and UNLV game get a little bit physical and out of hand towards the end. Some big hits, some penalties came along, some players pushing and shoving. We'll see if any of that picks up as the second period's about to get underway. And Benjamin Meany will win the draw. It's going to be Rathwell to play it off the boards for Colello. And right off the bat, you can see Adrian using the body as it will be dumped in by Stony Brook. Raudebusch will play it behind his net. And now the Bulldogs will break out. Moore coming into the offensive zone to pressure Kowicki. He picks it up, tries to backhand it out in front. Rose will work it deep. Rose works it over to number 14, Rainer Gimple. Now it'll be Stony Brook who will try to get possession. It's held in though, and luckily Palmieri there to clear it down ice, as we've seen Stony Brook so far come out strong to start the period.
But they have to make sure they have their assignments. When Adrian circles the net, they're leaving guys in the low slots. Looking like Evgeny Kuznetsov type of play where you wrap around one side of the cage and play it right back. That's a type of offensive maneuver that Adrian likes to execute.
Renaud tried to send it into the zone, but it's picked up by Crockett. Crockett tried to cut to the middle, but a good defensive play from Stone. Crockett able to get it back, trying to backhand it. It'll be picked up by Murphy, who throws it on to Hoon. Hoon's shot is blocked by Rose. It's going to be O'Brien working it down low with Crockett. Crockett trying to wrap it around out in front. It's saved by the pads of Raudebusch. Now Shearding will pinch into the zone. Going for the puck is Murphy, tries to backhand it out in front. It's intercepted, and Adrian will break it out of the zone and come into their offensive zone as Costello cuts to the net. Throws it out in front, was looking for Finger out in front, just poked wide of his stick. But Adrian again trying to set up a good breakout, a good opportunity, but we've seen Stony Brook's defense being able to get sticks in the passing lanes and break up those plays. And Shearding works it up to Murphy. Murphy will dump it in. And Stony Brook will get a line change. McKinnon plays it behind the net, playing it off the board. Shearding, though, able to hold it in. Shearding cuts to the middle, shot saved by Raudebusch. Stony Brook able to pick up the rebound. It's Riccardi. Up top to Murphy. Pepe left it for Shearding. Shearding walks in, shot is blocked by Finger. Now Murphy working it down low. Was looking for O'Brien as the Bulldogs trying to get it out of the zone. McKinnon will flip it high into the air, and this will go down ice and be icing against the Bulldogs.
And that offensive zone entry, it came from Adrian being slow to change. They had 3 or 4 guys late getting back defensively, and it allowed Stony Brook to set up, and now it's an offensive zone faceoff with some tired Bulldogs out there.
As fresh players out, is it's going to be Riccardi to take the draw. He's been one of the best face-off men for the Seawolves at this tournament. And again, he had that short-handed goal that played a pivotal role in Stony Brook's win. He tied the game against Pittsburgh, and after that, Stony Brook just took control of that hockey game. But a big defensive zone win from Adrian by number 26, Joe Costello. And now it's going to be Finger coming into the offensive zone. Leaves it for Coburn, and a shot saved by Rathwell. Good play, though, and heads-up play from Costello to leave that puck for Coburn and a good offensive zone opportunity.
Yeah, drop pass to the right circle, and Coburn, he has high glove side. Rathwell drops down into the butterfly. Make sure there's no second chance opportunities for any filtering Adrian players in the low slot.
It's going to be Fisher to take the draw for Adrian. Jack Nevakasi for Stony Brook. And Nevakasi wins that draw. Pepe tries to play it out for Burns, excuse me, as Burns will chip it into the zone. It's going to be Cosina to go after it. Adrian able to get the puck, trying to clear it out. Pepe holds it in at the blue line. Shot on is saved by the pads of Raudebusch. But Cosina will work it up top, tried to cycle it down low. It's going to be intercepted by Fisher. Stretch pass to Donaldson. He's in on a breakaway. Donaldson shot. He scores! Adrian with the 2-0 lead, and what a play to find Donaldson on the breakaway.
Oh, great deception there from Chris Donaldson. He had 15 goals, the freshman in his first season in Adrian. You think he's going to the backhand, he keeps it on his forehand. Rathwell committed, left that high glove side, and he buried it. 2:56 into the second period, Adrian doubles their lead.
And what a pass from Justin Fisher in his own defensive zone. Found Donaldson with some speed, and you've got to give credit to number 24 for that pass.
Oh yeah, he jumped the route, and he sees a guy cutting through the middle unattended. Nice backhand saucer feed right on the money, and the Bulldogs have a 2-0 lead.
17 minutes remaining in the second period. Adrian gets the first goal of this period, up 2-0 now. That's a big advantage as we're going to get icing here. And a very young Adrian team. We were looking at the roster, not many seniors or juniors. It's a lot of freshmen and sophomores. And for a team to be ranked this high and that young, that's scary for the rest of the ACHA.
Yeah, the young guys playing like veterans. For Tarkangeli, opens the scoring. He's a sophomore. Donaldson, freshman, gets the second goal of the game. But for Stony Brook, how do you respond?
As they try to backhand it out in front, as that was almost an opportunity to respond straight away as a quick shot on him. What a stick save from the goaltender, Raudebusch.
Yeah, he was slow to get back up.
As now it's going to be Adrian to pick up the puck, and they'll try to break it out after Raudebusch makes a big save. We've seen Stony Brook the shift straight after they give up a goal. They've been able to respond with a little bit of life of their own. Even though they're down 2-0, they eventually are going to have to convert one of these chances, or else Adrian could get a hand on this game.
But Raudebusch has been shutting the door, and that can only hinder your confidence if you're a Stony Brook Seawolf, because you can do whatever you can against a goaltender like number 56 in yellow, and you still won't be able to penetrate. You're down 2 goals, 16:29 left in the second period. So much time, you can't start throwing guys out in terms of pinches. Just keep playing your game and start the cycle. You'll get rewarded for it.
Austin Raudebusch, one of the few upperclassmen, a senior from Toledo, Ohio, has been a leader for this team in that net, made some big saves to keep a 0 on the scoreboard for Stony Brook. And that's what's allowed maybe Adrian to feed off the energy and get 2 good goals as they try to work it down low. Stony Brook's Riccardi will pick it up, plays it up top for Shearding. Shearding, quick shot on, glove saved by Raudebusch.
And you got to think Shearding's going to be the guy get the offense going for Stony Brook. He has 3 or 4 shots in this game already. Every time he gets the puck at the right circle, he doesn't hesitate, and that's the key for the Seawolves when you have guys sliding in front to block shots.
And we mentioned Riccardi getting that first goal last night. It was Shearding who started that play with a blocked shot. He led the rush up ice, passed it back door to Riccardi. So watch for the captain for the Seawolves to possibly make something happen. But now it's going to be Adrian who tries to throw a quick shot on. It's thrown wide by Cooper McLean, but it's going to be worked down low. Adrian's McLean works it out as the pressure has picked up a little bit from the Bulldogs. Now a stretch pass to Peck. He's got Slavin coming with him. Peck, quick shot on, knocked off the edge of his stick. Slavin almost followed up, but a good defensive play from Adrian.
And that was Kotek on that shot block as we get a whistle out of Prague. May not have the most goals, but he's got 31 assists for this Adrian team. Shows it at the offensive end, then shuts down Peck with his defensive size on that one-on-one chance. And
you said 31 assists. That's not even leading the team in assists. That's something about this team. They have dedicated goal scorers and setup men. So a complete team from Adrian. It's impressive when you see a guy with 31. Most of the time that's leading the team. He's not even top of his own team. He's 2 behind the leader in assists, which is actually number 16, Marcus Rose.
And you may think he's a junior or a senior. He's a sophomore.
Very young team that has had leadership step up from their younger players. As it's going to be Stony Brook trying to regain an opportunity to get some energy and possibly get a goal. We've seen that one goal can shift the momentum in these games. As they're pressuring down low, Bignamini gets it down to Palmieri. Palmieri fans on the shot. And it's going to be Greneau who tries to get it. Played off the boards by Moore. It's held in, though, by Stony Brook. Puck bouncing as Bignamini tries to settle it down. Quick shot on from Colello. Bounces out in front. And O'Brien trying to settle it. And now it's going to be Rose who plays it off the boards. It'll be settled by Pepe. Pepe trying to play it to Colello. And now it's coming the other way for Adrian. Moore trying to work around his man. Unable to make the move. He'll cycle it down low. Now it's Rose. A battle down low. Finally, Stony Brook able to control it. It's Colello. Colello gains the red line. He's got some help from Pepe in the slot as his attempted shot is blocked. And now it's going to be broken out. Here comes a one-on-one opportunity as Moore tries to work around Shearding, but Shearding able to get a stick and break up the play.
I'm not sure if Colello recognized that it was a 3-on-2, a chance to maybe hold on to that puck, maybe drop it. Instead, he throws one on the circles, doesn't even get through.
As Costello plays it back. And Adrian trying to set up a good breakout here as they tried to stretch it down for Finger, who's looking to deflect it on for Costello. Now Stony Brook will play it after an aggressive play from Rathwell. Now the Seawolves looking to break it out of the zones. Played high off the boards by Pepe. Bodied on the near side glass by Hosking. And now it's going to be picked up by number 21, Mike Finger, who tried to break it out. Knocked down by Murphy, and O'Brien will go after the loose puck. We see another couple big hits on this shift from both teams. The physicality picking up. Now Costello skating up the ice. Trying to cut to the middle, lost it off the edge of his stick. Finger will pick it up. Shot walked in, saved by the pads, loose out in front. And a couple saves from Rathwell as it rolls off the edge of the stick and dumped back in by number 22, Jordan Oshwoy.
Costello was the one who brought it in for Adrian to start that chance. He walked around Shearding. So an example of those pinches is there's a big collision there. As
Pepe knocks down Oshwoy, but that actually frees the puck up for Adrian as they were looking back door, and it's going to be cleared out by Peck as Kotek plays it back. Dumped in by number 17, Archie McKinnon, settled down by Rathwell, but it's going to be picked up by Adrian down low. Riccardi able to pick it up, plays it for Slavin, who gets it back to Riccardi. Now Riccardi, quick shot thrown wide of the net. Adrian trying to pick up the loose puck, catch Stony Brook in a line change. Instead, this one's going to go down and be icing against the Bulldogs. With 12:27 remaining in the second, Stony Brook trailing 2-0, but we haven't seen that affect them too much. They continue to apply the pressure.
For the past couple of minutes, you have to agree that Adrian has the ice shifted in their favor. They're the first to the puck in the dump-ins in their own offensive zone. And they've been quick to get the pucks along the far wall, but also penetrate the inside, the soft areas of the ice.
As you mentioned, some more 50-50 battles going the Bulldogs' way. Quick shot on, and almost another attempted stand-up save by the goaltender, number 56, Austin Raudebush. As now Adrian trying to clear it out. Stony Brook will dump it back in. As a stretch pass looking over for Donaldson. He has the most recent goal for the Bulldogs. Now, Kotek plays it over. Fisher gets it, coming into the offensive zone. Collision at the blue line, and that's going to free up a 2-on-2 chance if Stony Brook can hurry. And now this is going to be Burns working it down low. He's knocked free from the puck by big number 17, Archie McKinnon, the captain for Adrian. Now Adrian will come the other way with an offensive rush. They will dump it into the zone. It'll be played by Rathwell, who's still in control of the puck. A little bit of a questionable play there. As you mentioned, one of those plays could bite Rathwell. We've seen it almost happen before. Got to be a little more careful with the puck because Adrian's able to pounce on those chances quickly. And
especially when you're down 2 goals. If it's a 1 goal, maybe you're tied up. You don't need to try and make those risky plays. But if there's an option, he's confident enough to try and make it.
Now coming the other way, it's Adrian trying to look for a man in the slot. As a good opportunity from the pass from number 23, Michael Tratar. The first time we've said his name tonight. As now it's going to be Nevakasi who plays it off the boards. Palmieri skates into the zone. Stone will try to go after the loose puck, battling with Palmieri. It's freed up for number 4, J.P. Greneau. Now Adrian trying to stretch the ice. McQueen trying to get to the loose puck. And now it'll be cleared out where Stone picks it up at center ice. Trying to play, it's knocked down by Colello. Here comes Colello with some help finally to support him. He just throws a quick shot on, and it's going to be gloved up by Raudebush.
When you have guys like McKinnon, Stone defending against you, you're not going to be able to take them one-on-one. Why? Because they've got the size and the ability to legally hold you up and prevent you from skating around them in terms of a rush attack. Your only option is to throw it to the front of the net, and Raudebush has proven time and time again he can cut down those rebounds and keep Stony Brook off the score sheet.
We'll take a media timeout. 10:35 remaining in the second. Adrian leads it 2-0. You're listening to the ACHA National Championships.
The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Barron's Championship Rings, the official ring vendor for all ACHA National Champions and Hall of Famers. Boston's Pizza Restaurant and Sports Bar, gourmet pizza, burgers, wings, and more. We've got you covered. And by Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
And welcome back inside the Ice House here in Columbus, Ohio. Sam Fleming and Cristiano Simonetta here with you. You talked about it there. One breakaway could make the difference in this game, and we saw that play from Donaldson. But we talk about the passing time and time again. Justin Fisher with a beautiful stretch pass to find Chris Donaldson to put up that second goal of the game. That may be one of the plays of the tournament we've seen so far.
I think that's one of the top aspects of this Adrian program, is that they're smooth and they're silky when it comes to their passes. They don't miss a lot of open opportunities, especially with odd man rushes. And when you have a guy like Donaldson who's only got that small window to get a saucer pass from Fisher, he's able to get it like he's done it 100 times before.
And now it's going to be knocked down by Benyamini. Here comes Benyamini, quick shot on, saved by Raudebush, and that one kind of caught the goaltender off guard. As Benyamini, not a very big player, but he's got quite the shot. And a good save, though, from Raudebush.
And then on the other side, Raudebush, 6'3", 220, challenges, takes away that angle against the grain by coming out to the top of his crease, not allowing Benyamini any room to go along that far side.
So an offensive zone draw here for Stony Brook. They've been very good in the offensive zone, but we've seen Adrian be able to win a couple of these defensive zone draws. But Stony Brook's going to get this one, but they will get the puck. Adrian skating up ice. The Bulldogs will just chip it in. Going after the puck is his finger. He goes into the corner battling with number 2, Joe Heffernan. And worked free finally by Adrian as Costello finds a man in the slot, and it's knocked free. A good defensive recovery. Now Slavin will skate up the ice. Slavin trying to cut in the offensive zone, working around McKinnon. As a big hit there, frees the puck up for Riccardi. Riccardi falls down, able to get it up to Hoon. Hoon's quick shot actually knocked the stick out of Raudebush's blocker side and deflected into the netting.
Look, when you're hot, and Raudebush sliding from left to right just sticks out the right arm. Puck hits him, it goes up into the netting. They get a whistle. There's everything coming his direction. He's able to control. I think that's the best part of his game. The second chance opportunities, we haven't seen him from Stony Brook. At the other side, Adrian has had their fair share.
You mentioned how he looks hot. He's hot right now, but he's also moving very smoothly as well, sticking with the puck very well. As now it's going to be Adrian Rose skating into the offensive zone. Great drop pass to Moore and a big save by Rathwell. And that's a confidence of a team right there when you can do those drop passes that smoothly, and it's led to some good opportunities.
That's how in sync this roster is and how the transition game fuels their offensive attack. They get through that neutral zone in about 3-4 seconds, and they already have about 7 plays that they run up, 2-on-2, 3-on-2 rushes. If you're Stony Brook, you have to be able to take away the middle area of the ice. I've said it time and time again, and there's been shots coming, and they closed it off, and Rathwell was able to just make that chest save.
Shearding will pick up the puck, and will flip it out to Lynn. Lynn trying to come in, he loses it off the edge of his stick, and Adrian attempting to clear. Shearding able to hold the blue line. A nice play to glove that puck down by the captain for Stony Brook. But Adrian will gain control of the puck. It's Josh Hosking to settle it. He will wait to set his players up, directing traffic, as Hosking now stretches it for Costello. As Costello tried to play it over to the boards for Finger, as Burns cycles it back for Lynn. Lynn works down low, plays it over for Kowicki. Kowicki up to Nevikasi. Nevikasi coming in. It's knocked off the edge of his stick. Now here comes Adrian with a chance the other way. And knocked off the stick is Coburn.
Coburn, the two-way forward there. The back-checking ability to strip the puck, reminiscent of a guy like Pavel Datsuk or Marian Hossa. And then the ability to keep going north and still have some left in the tank. Unluckily, he crashed into his own teammate and that log jammed that opportunity, but support from Adrian at both ends of the ice. Doesn't matter if you're a forward or a defenseman. There have been guys every time that Stony Brook has the puck in or out 3 or 4 feet of him.
As Coburn, one of the assistant captains, an upperclassman from Hamilton, Ontario, as now it's going to be picked up by Crockett. Crockett chips it down low for O'Brien. Worked free by Adrian as Rose battling down low. And some good pressure here from Stony Brook to keep it deep as Greneau picks it up. Cycling it over for number 13, Steve Shesky. Now Rose tried to play it off the boards. It was knocked down momentarily by Keith O'Brien. Now it's going to be Greneau who stretches it high into the air, and this one goes into the Adrian bench and will come all the way down into their defensive zone with 8:07 remaining in the second period.
We're seeing Stony Brook implement a 1-2-2 forecheck. They're leaving one guy in the circles and chases the puck carrier. Adrian, their ability to play the puck off the wall and control the high glass chances, they're able to, like a knife through butter, just cut through that forechecking attack. And that's why we've seen some odd man rushes in this second period more than the first period.
One that led to a goal, a breakaway off that was scored by Donaldson, as Donaldson now has a puck, and here comes that speed from Donaldson. He comes into the offensive zone, tries to rip a shot, throws it wide of the net. Now it's going to be Colello who clears it out. McKinnon sends it right back into the zone as Rathwell will play it for Sheridan. Sheridan settles it. He'll wait for a couple minutes as he tries to stretch pass it. McKinnon knocks it down, but it's picked up by Colello. Colello chips it onto the net of Raudebush, who will wisely cover with some pressure coming from Stony Brook's Colello.
But Colello gets a puck and gains a blue line. There are 3 Bulldogs around him. Their defensive scheme is so sound on pressuring the puck carrier and not allowing him to gain high opportune chances simply because their ability to play defense, I don't even know how else to describe it, Sam. They're just so sound in that regard, and there's a reason why they've only lost 1 game this season.
Their hockey sense is incredible to see, as you mentioned, recognizing where the stick needs to be in those passing lanes. As we see McKinnon intercept another pass, this one will go for icing. But we see that hockey knowledge from Adrian, their awareness to know where the puck's going to be, not where it is. They've made some great defensive plays, and that translates to their offense. As we see the awareness to send Donaldson on a breakaway from number 24, Justin Fisher. It's just that awareness that Adrian has.
But as much as we want to talk about the Bulldogs this second period, it's only a 2-goal game with 7 minutes left in the middle frame.
As now Hoon tries to throw a quick shot on. Now it's going to be Fisher coming the other way. Fisher throws it over as it almost was offside, but Pernowski throws a quick shot on. As we see, this line has done pretty well together. Fisher, Pernowski, and Donaldson, they have a goal in this game, as we've been talking about multiple times. But it seems like the chemistry on all these lines for the Bulldogs is there. It seems like these lines have been together for quite some time. Is now Stony Brook. Slavin, quick shot almost redirected by his own teammate on the net of Raudebush, and now it's going to be thrown out of the zone where Hoon will settle a bouncing puck. Now Hoon, it hops over his stick momentarily as he's able to play it up for Riccardi. It comes back for Hoon. Hoon plays it off the boards. It's going to come, was looking for Peck, and that'll be cleared by Kotek, and down the ice where it'll be played by Rathwell. Rathwell, another close encounter with an attacker from Adrian, but it's going to work out as here comes Peck the other way. Peck trying to make a move around, was looking for Hoon, who was up in the rush as a defenseman. Now it's coming the other way for Adrian. 2-on-2 rush, a hop in the ice as we've seen them trying to work on a patch of that ice in that area. As now it's going to be picked up and broken out. Dumped into the zone by number 7, Cooper McLean. Hoon plays it around for Sheridan. Pinned up against the glass as they try to work it free. A couple Stony Brook players to get it as Sheridan plays it up, and now here comes an opportunity. Burns the other way trying to chip it around. Now Burns regains control, and now it's going to be picked up by one of the goal scorers, Mark Fratar Kangeli. Plays it up ice. Now here comes Cobrin. Tried to cut to the middle, but a good defensive play from Brendan Pepe. Now Burns trying to regain control. It's down in the zone. Costello plays it back. Up ice, looking high for Costello, who tried to settle it down, and it's going to be a high stick as he touched it high in the air. But again, we see these great passes from Adrian, and it's not like they're all the time trying to make the long pass, the Hail Mary pass. They try to keep it simple and short. That's what's led them to get 2 goals, but still Stony Brook's done a really good job themselves of making those short, crisp passes, and it's led to some good opportunities. Even though they don't have a goal on the board, they're still in this hockey game. They're not out of it by no means. And
you mentioned it, individual plays at either end are going to be diffused if you've got 2 defensemen back, but if you have one or a second guy, you're going to be able to thread those passes through, and Adrian just seems that they have eyes in the back of their heads because they're able to set up at will.
As Kowicki tried to pass it, bit fanned on there. He's able to get it back, though, and it's sent down to the far blue line where it'll be picked up by number 22, Jordan Oshawi. And now it's going to be settled behind the net. A close encounter here as Costello intercepts and threw it out. And if Adrian would have had one player there, it was a wide open net and possibly to give him a 3-goal lead. As Greneau plays it over. Now Adrian flips it high into the zone where Brennan Pepe will settle it. Plays it over for Kowicki, who plays it up to Colello. Colello chips it off the boards. Great chip for Palmieri, who tries to throw an off-angle shot on. And it's going to be blocked by number 15, Josh Hosking. Quick shot on again, blocked out in front. I believe that was by Palmieri. And now looking for it, and it'll be cleared out of the zone. But we've seen some good opportunities. And the turnover here, Finger had a good opportunity, just wiped out. And now it's going to be intercepted and dumped down by Greneau. But that was a almost costly error for Stony Brook down low.
They're playing with some fire here. Down 2 goals. They're going to have to make something happen, but you can't be too risky and play too loose, or else it's going to end up in the back of your net.
Here comes Moore the other way. Moore rips a shot, knocked down with the glove, pass out in front. They score! It's Rose out in front, and just as we were saying, costly turnovers can lead to another goal. It's now 3-0 for the number 2 team in Adrian.
Passing on display, 3:54 left in the second period. It's a 3-0 lead for the Bulldogs. And if you're Stony Brook now, the momentum is completely with the team in yellow and black. Try and get a goal before this period ends and you can start swaying momentum.
It's Marcus Rose who picks up the goal. And now 3-0 with 3:54 left. And the energy in favor of the Bulldogs. But we've seen Stony Brook again. They don't sit back. They like to keep attacking. If they could get one here, you're back down by 2, and you still have a whole nother 20 minutes along with this 3:54 left. As a little bit of a delay here. And could we be potentially seeing a video review challenge here from Stony Brook?
There may be some contact in the crease as Rathwell was bumped, but did Rose put the puck past the goal line before the contact, incidental or not, happened in that crease? This is something we don't often see in the ACHA National Tournament, the ability to review plays, as there's a discussion down at ice level.
During that Arizona and Missouri State game, the final one last night, we saw 2 reviews. One on a Missouri State goal that was disallowed. It was overturned. And then one to confirm an Arizona goal that was a quick shot in that hit the back post and just came out really quick. But that's the first 2 reviews we had seen And it's an interesting angle when you have those behind the net cameras to see if these goals actually do go in or if there was any incidental contact, as they're still having a discussion down here, so we'll keep our eyes on it. But if this goal stands, this is a crucial goal.
And on that play, it was Moore and Rose cutting to the front of the net on that rush attack. And there was contact, but I believe the puck was already in the net.
So we'll see what the signal is given, and they are going to give it a goal, so it will stand. It's 3-0 as Marcus Rose, the sophomore, gets the third goal of the game for the Bulldogs. And it's now 3-0 as Heffernan plays it back to Sheridan. Sheridan plays it off the boards. It goes high along and out of play.
We talked about underrated talents for Adrian getting on the score sheet. Well, Marcus Rose, 47 points in 28 games played in the regular season. Now they're starting to get their high-octane talent moving in this second period, and that can only be detrimental to Stony Brook's hopes of getting back in this one and extending their postseason run.
And a great play. Once again, we talk about the confidence in the passing as Rose was able to be on the recipient of a good pass. And now here comes some more great pressure. Donaldson just rips a shot wide. Greneau able to hold it in, chips it high, and will be gloved by Rathwell once more. But as you said, just the great passing from Adrian has led to all 3 goals. That's something that you like to see as a coach for team play aspects. The passing and the assist numbers really good on this Bulldogs team.
So Stony Brook, the play has to be out of their own end. They have to utilize the weak side defensemen to transition and get them involved in the play. Gain that red line, clear the puck in, and get some help along those corners because they're deviating away how they were successful in that opening period.
As Adrian works it deep, pinned off against the glass, Heffernan has his man. Can't see the number just yet. It's going to be number 24, Justin Fisher, working down low. As now Stony Brook still trying to work it out of the zone, but some great offensive zone pressure here from Adrian as we see them trying to win more of those 50-50 battles, as they do just right there. Fisher battles for it. Comes to Perkowski, looking for Fisher on the back door as Donaldson was looking to repay for the favor for that earlier pass. Now Donaldson will knock down the pass from Peck. It's McKinnon playing it off the boards, was looking for Fisher. Heffernan will pick it up. Heffernan plays it over for Sheridan. Knocked down by Perkowski. Now it's played by Donaldson. Donaldson falls down, still in control, battling for the puck with Peck, and Adrian able to get it and will send it into the zone. Played by the goaltender Rathwell. He'll leave it for Sheridan. Sheridan off the wall for Peck. Going for it. McKinnon will have to settle it out of the zone, dumps it in. Adrian regroups, glove down by Rathwell once again. Now it's Sheridan. Skating up ice with 2:14 remaining here in the second period. Heffernan coming in, tees a shot up high into the netting.
Kotek got his stick in the lane there. Any chances from Stony Brook from the outer rim of that offensive zone, they've been diffused from the active sticks, the active equipment from Adrian to get their bodies in lanes. My advice to them is fake the shot, pump fake a little, get them out of position, and then you can drop another play.
That's what Stony Brook did so well last night. They drew Pitt out as they throw one out in front, looking for Murphy in the slot. But once again, Adrian's there to pick off the puck, as now it's going to be looking for Frantar Cangeli, as now it's going to be cleared out of the zone. Oshway plays it, dumps it over the red line, as now it's played by the goaltender Rathwell for Pepe. Pepe will settle it. 1:43 now remaining. Still plenty of time for Stony Brook to try to get something on the board, and here comes a rush from him the other way. Boone plays it for Crockett. Crockett, quick shot on. Saved by the goaltender, Raudebusch. And even though they've had the chances, it's just been that guy in net, Raudebusch, making some great saves on some stellar chances for Stony Brook.
And there were some opportunities in the early stages of this second period. Power moves from Stony Brook where Raudebusch shut the door. You don't get to 22-0 in the regular season by accident. He's been solid as can be, and Adrian proving that they could be a force in this national tournament.
And each save he makes, he gets more confident with it as it goes, and he's made some big saves. That's why there's no goals for Stony Brook. They've just got to find one way to put one past the goaltender, Raudebusch. As worked down low by Stony Brook. Now it's going to be picked up by Adrian. Here comes a rush the other way. Pepe able to recover. His finger was coming back behind him. And now it's going to be cleared to center where it's settled down by Costello. And we're going to get a high stick call here And we'll regroup the play.
So with 1:15 left in the second period, Stony Brook needs to get back to simplifying. In the second period, they've had a lot of chances where they come into the offense zone, get a shot. If it goes wide or if it hits Raudebusch, they're one and done. Adrian goes the other way. What the Bulldogs have done in this second period, they get that first shot on goal, and they don't stop. They keep playing hungry, and we talked about work ethic between these two teams coming into the hockey game. Stony Brook known for their resiliency. They're down 3. They're going to need 1.
O'Brien tried to throw a quick shot off the faceoff. Those quick shots could be something that favors Stony Brook once more. They did that really well last night. They're going to have to find something to get around the goaltender, Austin Raudebusch. High into the air, and Rathwell, who's tried to glove a couple of those before, and that's another thing that can happen when one of those pucks is it's worked down low by Adrian, Finger trying to throw it out in front. But when you have those pucks come high in the air and you miss it, and if Adrian's quick to that puck, they could get him as Finger plays it off, looking back door, and almost had a chance, a wraparound out in front, and did it go in? Still loose, they're battling for it, and for a second, I thought that puck may have went in.
And Crockett was the guy diving in the crease, and he was adamant about not putting his palms on the puck because that would have been a penalty shot for Adrian if he did that illegally. But I was surprised the whistle wasn't blown sooner because there were 2 red bodies in that blue paint, but apparently the puck was still loose, but it didn't cross that goal line.
As Coburn thought he had scored, and it looks like they're just going to let this one play. This would have been one to be interesting to see a replay of, potentially. Did it cross the red line? But what a play from Stony Brook. If they happen to come back in this game, remember that play, because that was a great play from Crockett to make sure he didn't cover that with his hands.
But how did it start for Adrian? A simple shot from the right point, blocked away by Rathwell, and it comes onto the stick of a forward to the left circle. More passes there back door, and the goaltender was out of position. As
McKinnon will chip it into the corner, and now it's going to be the most recent goal scorer, Rose, working down low. Quick shot on from Kotek, thrown wide of the net. 25 seconds remains. It goes into the netting. But it's those big defensive plays. Even though you're down 3-0, you've got to fight till the end of a hockey game. And Stony Brook's continuing to put that effort out there. Even though they're down by 3, that was a huge defensive play and a leadership play from one of the assistant captains, Matthew Crockett, who did a great job keeping that puck out of the net. There's now a face-off win for Stony Brook. So they'll clear it out. Benyamini, and it's gloved down by Rathwell, who will leave it behind the net. Shearding plays it off the wall, was looking for Palmieri. Intercepted by Coelho, and the puck still stuck momentarily. Now one last chance here for Adrian. As they come in, shot just goes over the stick of Moore as Rose tried to put a pass right on the tape. And that will do it for the second period of action. And a pretty entertaining one, to say the least. Started out with a little pushing and shoving before the puck even dropped. And then 2 goals from Adrian gives them a 3-0 lead.
And can you believe no minor penalties for either side in that second period after we saw a pair dished out to either team in the first? Discipline coming to the forefront here in a playoff game. Stony Brook can't take that next penalty. If you're Adrian, you can play a little bit more loose. If there's a wide open opportunity for Stony Brook, you're able to take that slashing penalty or a hooking penalty. Serve 2 minutes, trust your penalty kill, but at even strength right now, the Bulldogs are running the show.
At the end of 2, Adrian leads this one 3-0. One more period to play in the third game of the day as you're listening to the 2018 ACHA National Championships. Hello fans and welcome back inside the Ice House here in Columbus, Ohio, getting set for the third period between number 2 Adrian and number 15 Stony Brook. Sam Fleming and Cristiano Simonetta here with you. So we talked about it, one breakaway could make a difference. There was a breakaway goal. What would your prediction be for this period in the third? And what would you think Stony Brook would try to do to try to get one goal and bring it back within 2 and then start their climb back to in this game?
Well, the answer to your second question feeds into the answer to the first question. I think they have to keep their feet moving along the wall. Force Adrian to get sticks in lanes, and I think there's going to be an infraction called on Adrian in the beginning 5 minutes of this third period. Stony Brook's going to be put on the power play. It's going to be the biggest sequence of this third period and determine how much fight the Seawolves have. If they're not able to score the next goal or maybe get one in the first 10 minutes, we're going to see a very, very desperate Stony Brook team that may lead to an offensive chance for Adrian. And we've seen throughout this game that if they get one shot, one opportunity, they're going to bury it.
This isn't the last game of the night either. Minot State, the #1 ranked team after this one, plays Arizona, who beat Missouri State 4-1 last night. That should be an entertaining one, so stick here on the ACHA Nationals YouTube page. You won't want to miss that one.
And Stony Brook put up 8 goals against Pittsburgh last night. You called all 8 of those. They have none through 40 minutes against a much more dominant defensive club in Adrian.
And I will say, Adrian looks like they're playing a similar style to what Stony Brook did against Pitt last night. So they're trying to match what they've seen on the film. Now it's going to be one more period of play. Can Stony Brook get back in this game, or will Adrian drive home the advantage and move on to the next round and play on Sunday? You're about to find out as we're underway. Stony Brook wins the opening draw. Shearing tries to chip it deep. Adrian will flip it out of the zone. Benyamini will knock it down, and they're going to be offsides. And now it's going to be Greneau who stretches it down and just out of the reach of Gimple. Gimple, though, will get to the puck, battling with Shearing. Played high off the boards. It'll be held in, though, by Adrian. Walking the middle, quick shot on, almost redirected behind Rathwell. Still loose out in the slot, and a quick shot on from Stone as there was a good rebound out in front, just unable to find it was Adrian.
Yeah, he sensed the puck underneath him and he saw the reaction of his teammates, so he flipped around, but the puck was actually in between his legs and stayed in the blue paint.
As now it's going to be Raudebush who stretches it out of the zone for Moore. Rose plays it off the boards. Now Moore trying to work it free. He gets it. Here comes Moore. Quick shot on. Rebound comes to Costello. And now it's going to be Rose who plays it, now picked up by Stony Brook, and they'll try to set up a rush. Murphy over to Crockett. Crockett, quick shot on, rebound from Raudebush, and just unable to find a stick was Murphy as he was right on the doorstep of possibly getting Stony Brook their first of the game.
And Kotek was the guy to lift the stick of the oncoming Seawolf to prevent a rebound opportunity that was in tight, but it could have been the opportunity that they would have needed to get one.
As now it's going to be Kowicki. Plays it up for O'Brien, who plays it off the boards. It's going to be Kotek, who made that big defensive play. Plays it over for McKinnon. McKinnon tried to stretch it, bounces off Costello, and it'll come back to Kotek. Kotek plays it over for McKinnon. McKinnon up to Coburn. Now Coburn into the offensive zone. Tries to chip one on for Costello, deflected by the stick of Rathwell into the corner. Intercepted by Murphy, who plays it off the boards, trying to get around Kostek, as we saw them trying to stretch players. Watch for Stony Brook to attempt those long passes. We saw them do it a couple times last night, even though they were more crisp on the shorter passes. That may be what gets Stony Brook back into this game. Now a quick shot in by Stone will be gloved up. Excuse me, that was actually number 28, Marcel Kotek, who made the shot, but a great save from Rothwell. But we see now it's Adrian who's getting their defense involved, trying to get some shots from the point.
And how have they been getting it done? It's hesitation. They had that one forehand pump fake. You get a guy to bite, and you've got traffic moving to the front of the net, and that was actually a deflection from Coburn into the glove of Rathwell on that last save.
Battling for the puck is Peck, who will try to dump it down. And now an opportunity. Slavin plays it out in front, but it was blocked. Looking for Slavin on the doorstep. Backhand saved, though, by Raudebush. Still loose, battling for it is Riccardi. And Raudebush sticks with the puck. The goaltender that went 22-0 on the season, again making 2 big saves.
Slavin has to be shaking his head. That's 2 primetime opportunities now, bested by Raudebush. And the fact that he was able to track that puck as it went to his left side and sprawl on the rebound before any action occurred.
Now Adrian trying to rush the other way, just out of the reach. It's going to be played back by Rathwell, plays it over to Slavin. Slavin loses it off the edge of his stick. Donaldson sends it back into the corner, where Sheridan will play it off the walls for Slavin. Now Peck will pick it up. Peck into the zone, he delays. Now finds Slavin, quick shot saved by Raudebush. It'll be flipped into the corner. Now Slavin plays it up for Sheridan. Sheridan will just send it into the corner as Peck will try to go after the loose puck. However, the first one to get it will be number 15, Josh Hosking. Now Adrian looking to clear it out of the zone, and they will. Coming the other way is Perkowski. Perkowski cuts to the middle, quick shot, deflected high into the net. A great recovering from Sheridan, who got a stick in the shooting lane. But you talked about it with Slavin. Imagine if those two chances go in. It's a one-goal hockey game right now with 17:01 remaining in the game.
But then again, we turn it to the attention of the goaltenders and how crisp they've been in opportunities. Raudebush has just been that much better than Rathwell, who's had a solid game in his own right. It's just that Stony Brook has been unable to get one to the back of the net to maybe create some havoc and make Adrian a bit nervous.
As here comes Cosina with an opportunity. He tries to cut, but a great defensive play by Greneau to force him into the corner. Now it's going to be played up to Kowicki. Kowicki tries to throw a quick shot on, almost redirected out in front, trying to wrap it out in front. And knocked down there was number 24, Jack Nevikoski, who was trying to get a goal on the board. He worked hard out in front, but good defense. Now an opportunity, backhanded shot, just wide of the net for Adrian. Chip down low, battling for it on the far side wall. Two players from each team. It's Hoon who will work it out. Now Hoon skates it up for Stony Brook. And now Adrian regains control. It's Trotar who will dump it into the corner, and Adrian will get the line change. Now Stony Brook trying to stretch the ice. It's knocked down by Gimple. Gimple coming into the offensive zone. He cuts wide, dumps it into the corner, where it'll be Kowicki to pick it up. Now Kowicki looking for Colello. It's intercepted by McKinnon, who will gain the red line and dump it back in. Rathwell tried to come out and play it, but it'll come to Hoon as Kowicki plays it down low. Moore pressuring to work it free. Great effort from Dominic Moore, who gets the puck back for Adrian. Quick shot thrown on. Moore will get it down low. Moore tries to throw it around the net, and it'll be gloved by Rathwell.
Adrian humming and humming. It doesn't matter if they got a 3-goal lead, a 6-goal lead. They're going to keep attacking, reminiscent of what Stony Brook did last night against Pittsburgh. It doesn't matter. The deficit or the advantage for the team in yellow and black, any chance that they get in the offensive zone, they're going to have guys ready to capitalize and add to it.
Not giving up until the final whistle. As you said, that was something Stony Brook did so well last night. Looks like Adrian's going to play a similar system as here they come once again. Finger into the offensive zone. It's knocked off his, as he was trying to make a pass. It was deflected by Stony Brook. Now it's going to be played by Brendan Pepe. Leaves it back for the captain, number 27, Frank Sheridan. Now up to Crockett, as Crockett's pass is knocked down by Stone, battling for it still. Trying to play it off the wall, it's Colello, laying it back to Stone. Adrian looking to stretch the ice, as now Stone plays it once again. He cuts up. Now an offensive rush from the defenseman Stone. He cuts down low, throwing it out in front, was looking for Colello, but able to pick up the loose puck is Finger. Finger trying to cut it, loses off the edge of his stick, and Murphy will play it off the boards and get it out of the zone. Now it's Crockett who gets it, flips it over for Murphy, knocked down by a stick of Stone, but O'Brien able to pick it up, but a great recovery there from Colello, as we've seen Adrian just get back and correct their mistakes. They've been able to recover so well in this hockey game.
And it's been coming from their forwards too, whether it's Corbin, whether it's guys like Costello. Dan Stone on that last rush too. He's a defenseman, reminiscent of a forward there going coast to coast, and that allows your offense to get going here with 14 minutes left in the third.
It's going to be Hoon skating up the ice. Hoon coming into the offensive zone, tries to backhand it, throws it wide of the net. Now it's going to be Stone who had that most recent rush, as he's battling Donaldson, trying to work it free from Peck. Adrian able to clear it down. And it'll be icing against the Bulldogs. So Stony Brook with an offensive zone draw. And you and I spoke about how some of these big guys on Adrian, they're some of their fastest players. It's a big thing when you have guys like that that are that big in size that can move with a lot of speed.
Yeah, they don't come at you with one or two attributes. They've got the full package, and they play together, and that's the synergy and the chemistry they've amassed over this regular season. A lot of young guys, a lot of moving pieces. Doesn't matter. Success for Adrian has been there.
There's a battle down low, and Adrian's able to work it out. It's going to be Fisher, knocked free, though, by Hoon. Great recovery from Hoon, who will skate in. Now you start to see the defenseman getting up in the rush for Stony Brook as he tried to chip one out in front for Slavin. It's thrown wide of the net, but Peck will get it and hold it into the zone. Peck trying to walk the middle, knocked down by the glove of the goaltender, number 56, Austin Raudebush. Now it's Riccardi. Riccardi was looking back door as Sheridan gets it up from Heffernan, and a quick shot on is saved by Raudebush with 13-19 remaining in the third. Adrian still up 3-0.
You just mentioned the time left in the frame. The decision has to be made from Stony Brook. How active are their defensemen going to be? You saw Kyle Hoon, the guy who has 7 points in 32 games in the regular season. He's one of the players standing out in this third period. Maybe some more ice time for number 5 moving forward.
There's a nice defensive zone win from Adrian. There's now an opportunity for McLean. McLean comes up the ice, trying to cut to the middle, and now it's going to be picked up by Trotar. Plays it up, quick shot on, almost redirected out in front by McLean off the shot from number 13, Steven Chesky. Now a chance here for Stony Brook as Benyamini was trying to cut to the middle, and he knocks a man down. And are we going to have a call here? As McLean a bit slow to get to his feet. But we saw the referee's hands go up. Are we going to have a penalty here?
Yeah, I believe they called tripping.
It is a tripping call.
And Benyamini.
And Benyamini to the box. So it's 12:49 now. And now Adrian's got a power play. Neither team has really gotten any opportunities to put one home on the power play. Sure, they've been able to set it up. If Adrian gets one here, this could be thank you and good night to this hockey game, possibly.
That would be the final nail in the coffin if you're Adrian. But at the other end, they could just play 4 corners with it and make sure they don't allow Stony Brook with any shorthanded tries, because they scored a shorthanded goal last night against Pittsburgh. So there is talent there to provide that in Riccardi.
And as you said, a shorthanded goal could go the opposite way. We could have a brand new hockey game with just a 2-goal advantage. Now Moore will skate up the ice. Dominic Moore plays it to Donaldson. Donaldson, quick shot on, almost redirected out in front, still loose. And now Stony Brook will get it a rush here from Sheridan, who led that shorthanded rush last night. Here comes Sheridan trying to do it all himself. He skates wide, throws a shot just high over the net. And that's one of those examples of a leadership. Now it's coming the other way for Adrian. Moore plays it down low, looking for Donaldson out in front of the slot, as that was almost a great attempted pass there from Raynor Gimple, who led that rush. And you can just see the unselfishness of Adrian trying to move that puck to open up opportunities.
And Sheridan with a crucial shot block on that 4-on-2 rush may have saved the game.
As now here comes Coburn. Coburn makes a cut around, looking for a shot, and a glove save from Rathwell, as that was a golden opportunity for Adrian.
He's given his team a chance to win. With 11:42 left in the third period, still not an insurmountable deficit with only 3 goals, but a save like that after Coburn walked a man at the line, that's some great talent on both sides of the puck.
As Coburn, one of the big men on this team, and not to mention, he is a forward. We've seen him, though, play really strong defensively, so almost a defensive forward, but still showing his offensive capabilities. A great move by him, but still an offensive zone draw, as it's going to be Greneau holding it at the blue line. Looking. It's Coburn. Cycles it down low for Costello. Costello tries to throw an off-angle shot. He'll get the rebound. Plays it up for Greneau. Greneau cuts to the middle. Looking for a redirect from Costello. Just deflected wide of the net. Now it's Rose. Down low. Back up for Greneau. Greneau plays it over for Coburn. Down low. Rose looking for Coburn. Coburn in the slot. Throws a shot high over the net. Now Rose works it. 20 seconds remains on Adrian's man advantage. Coburn cuts to the circle, plays it low for Costello. Looking for Coburn out in front. He scores! 4-0 for Adrian as they capitalize on the man advantage. It's Coburn cutting to the slot who puts it home.
Bulldogs looking like the Harlem Globetrotters on that power play. Quick passing along the wall, on the point. They break it down and move down low. And then seeping through the slot is Corbin, and he beats Rathwell on that glove side. 4-0 with 10:55 left in the third.
And Corbin started that play. He put it down low to Costello, and immediately we talked about how Adrian trying to draw out the Stony Brook players on that man advantage from that box. They did it well. That opened Corbin right in the slot, and a beautiful pass again from Costello. We just can't talk about enough how many of these passes on these goals have been impressive from Adrian.
And some of it may be luck. A lot of it is skill, though, going through guys' legs. The saucer pass is just escaping the blades of defenders. But Coburn with 38 goals in the regular season, the last guy you want to see seeping through that low slot.
Coburn also the leading scorer for Adrian, and you see why. Again, 38 goals in the regular season, impressive, and a goal here in the first game for Adrian in the national tournament has given him a 4-0 lead. As down low, Burkowski looking out in front for Donaldson, bouncing puck, Fisher trying to settle it. As now Donaldson tried to just throw a quick shot on, not down. As Hoon sends it down, Oshley fans on the pass, and here comes Burns. But Burns loses it off the edge of his stick, and Burkowski tried to play it back, and now Murphy leaves it for Hoon. Over for Kowicki. Stretching it up for Burns. Burns cuts to the middle, quick shot on, deflected into the corner by Raudebush. Down low, Fisher cycling it over. Oshwe plays it up for McLean. Held in by Stony Brook as it's Pepe working deep the defenseman. Pepe hit hard by Oshwe. Fisher gets the puck, throws it out in front of his own net, and that's a dangerous pass, and Adrian luckily clears it out of the zone.
That would have been a rough first goal to allow if you're Adrian. An own goal like that, but luckily, when it's your night, and Raudebush kept that one out.
Chattard tries to work it deep. It's turned over to Murphy. Murphy works it up for Pepe. Pepe fakes the shot to Shearding. Shearding just throws one into the traffic, and it's knocked down by a stick. And Adrian trying to clear it. It's held in by Shearding at the point. Shearding works it down low for O'Brien. O'Brien trying to throw a pass up top to Shearding. Shearding waiting, throws it over for Pepe. Now Pepe. Shot is blocked by number 7, McLean. And we've seen McLean getting some of those shooting lanes, but it's still in the zone for Stony Brook. O'Brien walks in. Pad save by Raudebush. Trying to clear it out. Now Crockett holds it in. He spins on. It's thrown into the corner where Stone works it deep. Now it's intercepted by Shearding, who's all the way down low as a defenseman. Attempted clear, held in by Pepe. Shot saved by Raudebush. And can they get it out? And they finally do. And what a defensive effort from the Bulldogs.
They were lucky to survive that shift, but Raudebush, one right pad save, another blocker save. He's been the guy, and there's a reason why.
As Rose chips it deep, Moore will pursue. Riccardi tries to cycle it up. And now a shot on at the point from Kotek, and it's saved by Rathwell. 8:10 remains in the third period. 4-0 in favor of Adrian, and they have their goaltender to thank as well. Austin Raudebush, some incredible saves all game long. He might be the MVP of the game.
Going back to that last shift by Stony Brook, the reason why they were able to get so many shots on goal is that they were spicing up the variety of manners of attack. You had Pepe faking shots at the right circle, throwing them through traffic, centering them behind the goal in Gretzky's office. Then you go along the far walls. The chances have been there, but the scoreboard does not lie. 4-0 Adrian with 8:10 left in the third.
We'll take a media timeout and be back for the call of the third period. You're watching the ACHA National Championships.
The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by the Columbus Blue Jackets. For tickets and more, visit bluejackets.com. R-Bar, the official ACHA 2018 Nationals post-game hangout and best hockey bar in Columbus. And by the Greater Columbus Sports Commission. Columbus has no off-season.
And welcome back after that media timeout. Again, 4-0 in favor of the Adrian Bulldogs over Stony Brook. And as we were saying earlier, one more game. The #1 ranked Minot State taking on Arizona on this rink right after our game. And that should be an exciting one to see, as I bet a lot of fans at home will be looking forward to that.
As this is a 2 versus 15 matchup you're seeing on your screen right now. That one will be a 1 versus 16. But as we mentioned it in the start of this game, the rankings are all thrown out because it's a 1-game playoff. A team could have a great night and shock the world, shock the country with a good 60-minute effort.
Hoon plays it up to Peck. Now Peck comes into the zone. Quick shot on, saved by Raudebush once again. And as we've seen the trend continue, still a lot of time left here, 7:44, but it's the higher ranked teams that have stopped the Cinderella stories. They have dominated this tournament. That would be something if in the next game against Minot State you had the #1 team in a bit of trouble. We saw Lindenwood escape winning 5-2, and then a close one for Ohio. They went to overtime against UNLV, and credit to UNLV, they never went out of that hockey game. A 3-2 win in overtime for the Ohio Bobcats.
That's the beauty of the ACHA National Tournament. Any team has a shot.
As Moore throws a quick shot on and saved by the goaltender Rathwell, but any team is in this tournament. Rankings don't matter, as we said. There have been Cinderella stories in the past. We're bound to have one, but right now it's just been those top-ranked teams that played like the top-ranked teams. They continue to show their strength at the tournament.
We already talked about it. Exhibit A, Ohio. Jimmy Thomas had to make a stellar stop. One-on-one, a bang-bang play. If that puck goes in, you have the hometown team in Ohio University exiting Columbus early.
And you would have UNLV, the underdog, moving on to the next round, as we're going to get icing here. And if you have not seen the save we are talking about, go back to the stream from this afternoon and go to the overtime period, and you can see UNLV had a really good chance to put that away. And most of the time, goaltenders have a tough time coming back and making those saves, but Thomas with an unbelievable glove save to keep Ohio in that game and eventually allow them to win and move on to the next round.
And he's not the only netminder that really carries his club through. You see with Raudebush, sure, Adrian boasts a lot of talent up front, but Stony Brook should have a couple goals on the score sheet tonight.
As Hoon tried to come in, it comes free to Colello, and right there, Raudebush there to stop the man Colello out in front. He had a prime opportunity. Now it's going to come the other way for a rush for Adrian. As Costello tries to work around, nice move between the legs, and he almost put that one home. Backhand to follow it up, so he's able to follow up his own rebound, unable to put it home, as we have a little pushing and shoving between Brad Coburn and number 2, as we're going to have a player go down and we're going to have a penalty as we see the intensity picking up. And we saw Coburn and Heffernan pushing and shoving, dropping sticks back there, and then you get a call here, and Adrian's going to take a penalty. So now you think about it for Stony Brook. You're down by 4. That's a big margin, but there's a lot of time. You still have 6:48 left, and you get 2 minutes of power play time. If you get one quick in this power play, there's a chance you could start to build some energy and possibly make a comeback.
Mike Finger, number 21 for Adrian, serves the penalty, 2 minutes for tripping.
Finger to the box. He's had a big role in this game, been a very aggressive player. He's actually been pretty strong on the penalty kill we've seen a couple times, as now Peck works it up top to Shearding. Shearding throws it over for Peck. Peck up to Shearding. Shearding tries to wind one up, rolls off the edge of his stick. Adrian able to get it down ice, where Rathwell will play it.
I wonder if Rathwell will be pulled at any point of this power play. You're down 4 goals with 6 minutes left, but you already have the man advantage, so I don't think you need to push the button that far. But anything could happen.
As Riccardi, and as you said, anything can happen in this tournament. Shearding over to Riccardi. Now back to Shearding. Over to Hoon. Plays it back up top for Frank Shearding. Works it down low for Charles Peck. Back to Shearding. Throws a quick shot on, saved again by Raudebush. But Stony Brook able to hold the zone. It's Riccardi looking for Peck. Peck up for Murphy. Over to Shearding. Shearding waits, tries to throw a quick shot, and it's blocked by his own man Riccardi out in front. Kyle Hoon able to hold it in. Now Hoon cutting to the middle, throws it over for Peck, and the goaltender Rathwell coming to the bench. So there is the pulled goaltender with 45 seconds left. They're going to have a 6-on-4 power play. Quick shot on from Shearding is blocked. Adrian will clear it down. It'll be interesting to see how long Rathwell stays out of the net. Do they play some 6-on-5 for a little bit? Now it's going to be Hoon skating up ice. Knocked free from him momentarily, as Adrian will try to play it as Oshawi just wisely recovers. And now Shearding plays it up for Kowicki. Now it's Colello. Colello cuts to the middle, throws a quick shot on, and Raudebush with another glove save.
The script has been the same the entire night, Sam, with 5 minutes left in the third. Shots coming through Raudebush's way, and he gloves them, and he snares them allows no second chance, third chance opportunity. It was a 6-on-5. Now Rathwell will go to back into his crease, rather, so it's a 5-on-4 for 14 seconds.
But that's a good move to try to do that. You add another attacker out there, you're already on the man advantage. Try to open up your options on the ice. And it was worth the shot for Stony Brook. As Adrian will clear it out, and it's going to be played with a high stick by Slavin.
This was a chance for momentum in terms of Stony Brook's attempt to come back in this game. Now more clock has ticked off, and you'll go back to even strength. You have to think when they gain the red line and possession in Adrian's zone, Rathwell will come skating to the bench once again.
A lot of time still left, but you've got to try to get as much pressure to the net. Maybe even try to draw Adrian into some penalty trouble so you can get more 6-on-4 opportunities. As a win by Gimple, McKinnon will hold it in and dump it deep. Now it's picked up by Pepe. Pepe plays it over for Slavin. Slavin back to Pepe. Stretches it over for Benyamini. Now Colello comes into the zone, looking for Slavin in the slot, and instead falls to Brennan Pepe. Now Stony Brook holds it at the point with Palmieri, chips it down low for Pepe. Plays it out in front. Colello was looking for Pepe, and Adrian's just going to clear the zone. And here comes a rush from Rose, and coming all the way out is Rathwell, and he's able to get it out of the reach of Rose, and Moore will play it back. And that's a bold play that will pay off, and a smart play to just clear that puck out of the zone.
And I think that's why Stony Brook was able to get to this stage of the tournament if they're unable to pull off this 4-goal comeback with just above 4 minutes left in the third. It's been from the goaltender, Rathwell. Sure, there have been some times where he's had some blemishes on his resume, but tonight he's made some sharp saves. But the bigger story has just been the defensive shutdown from Adrian.
And their goaltender as well, Austin Raudebusch, who, if we had to pick a star of the game, knock on wood for Adrian fans, it probably would be him. But if you're a Stony Brook fan, you want your team to put one home and find a way to do it. But you really haven't been able to see any problems with Raudebusch's game whatsoever.
No, and I think it just comes from being calm and composed in between the pipes. When he decides to challenge, it's a smart run where he knows that if he's going to make a save, he shoulders the puck to a far side option instead of pushing it right out to the middle, which can cause some havoc for some goaltenders, especially in a tournament like this.
As Burns will skate into the zone, he tries to backhand it out in front, will stick with the puck, throws it up top for Hoon. Hoon chips it into the corner, looking for Nevakasi, down low. As Adrian tries to clear it out, quick shot on, was redirected out in front by Nevakasi and almost caught the goaltender Raudebusch off guard. And that's one thing we have noticed, though. When there's a redirected shot, it can sometimes fool Austin Raudebusch, but luckily his teammates have been there to cover it. As it's held in by Stony Brook, tumped deep, as Kotek will play it off the boards for Donaldson, who's able to get it out of the zone just shy of the blue line. It's played back. Kotek plays it up. And now here comes an offensive zone rush. Kotek coming all the way up ice, throws a shot just wide of the net. As Donaldson hit hard in front of the bench. Adrian works it back with Fisher, plays it over for Stone, and we're going to have a penalty call here. And I believe the referee has gotten 2 players here potentially. And we get a 2-minute call for slashing, and going to the box is number 11, Chris Donaldson. So the referee was just pointing at Donaldson. I thought he possibly had gotten both of them for some extracurricular, but here we go again. 2:54 left, man advantage, and once again, Rathwell out of the net. You have to find one quickly if you want to try to get some life in this game.
And Donaldson, the reason he took that penalty after he absorbed that check along the Seawolves bench, gave that extra whack, and the officials are always going to catch that.
Is now a chance to set it up. Pepe plays it over for Slavin. Over to Pepe. Benyamini chips it down low for Palmieri. Back to Benyamini. Up to Pepe. Down low, Slavin. Works it on the half wall up top for Brennan Pepe. Pepe over for Ori Benyamini. It's knocked free from his stick. Stony Brook able to recover, works it down low for Riccardi. Riccardi trying to walk out from behind the net. Plays it up for Slavin. Slavin fakes the shot, trying to walk around, but a good defensive recovery there from Fisher. Slavin's shot is blocked by Fisher once again. As it will be attempted to be cleared, it's held in by Stony Brook. Pepe works it deep for Riccardi. Now Riccardi Down low. Puck hopped over his stick. He's able to play it up top for Slavin. Plays it over to Pepe, throws a shot. It's blocked and will be sent down ice, as that was a nice block from Mark Fratar-Cangeli, as he's had a goal in this game, the first one of the game, and a big block right there on the penalty kill.
It'll be the GWG for Fratar-Cangeli if Stony Brook is unable to score.
Down low. Trying to work it free is Stony Brook. 1:38 remaining in this third period. As Adrian will just send this one down the ice. Once again, 37 seconds remaining on the man advantage for Stony Brook. Now skating up the ice is Shearding, leading the rush. Shearding works it deep, trying to wrap it around, looking for a teammate out in front, and it's going to be blocked and dumped down ice once again by Adrian. Crockett plays it over. Leaves it for Shearding. Shearding over for Hoon. 1 minute remains in the game. Adrian up 4-0. Shearding flips it into the corner. Time has expired, so Adrian back to even strength. Goaltender still out of the net, trying to find it out in front. It's chipped into the corner. Tratar will backhand it high, and it will be cleared down the ice. A foot race between Hoon and Fratar-Cangeli, and with 40 seconds left, we're going to get an icing call.
So Adrian, unless something insurmountable happens, you never know until that scoreboard reads quadruple zeros. But it looks like they're going to move on, and just a passionate effort here from both teams. But Adrian, the execution was just one step better. And they have this 4-goal lead. It reminds me a lot of the November 19th game between these two teams. So after Stony Brook beat Adrian 3-2, what did the Bulldogs do? They responded with a 7-0 drubbing of the Seawolves.
And a big win for Adrian as they continue their quest to reach the national tournament trophy. And a great win, and you can see why they're one of the top teams in the nation. But you've got to give credit to Stony Brook as well, as this one was dumped down the ice. They fought hard in this game. They never were out of it. Continue to play a strong game, and they have nothing to hang their heads about.
Exactly. You have to have some pride in your effort here. It's a 4-goal game where it really got out of hand starting in that third period. You were only down 1 after 20 minutes. The opportunity was there to really grab this game, but you know what I'm going to talk about in number 56, the guy wearing yellow.
As McLean will get the puck, as he rings it off the post, trying to get one last goal. They'll hold it into the corner, and that will do it. Adrian wins this one 4-0, and will play on Sunday in the next round.
And Austin Raudebush, 8 shutouts in the regular season, so in the 2017-18 campaign, it's his 9th time he's posted a 0, or the other team has posted a 0 against him. And
also, the first shutout of the national tournament belongs to Adrian's Austin Raudebush. And a big congratulations to him. He played a great game. And overall, probably our star of the game, definitely my player of the game. It comes from the goaltender, Austin Raudebush, who made some incredible saves, robbing Stony Brook of potentially goals that could have kept them in this hockey game.
And we may be talking about his name throughout the national tournament as a guy who could be listed as an MVP possibly, simply because he steals games. Not that Adrian necessarily needed an effort that required stealing per se, but whenever they faltered defensively, the Bulldogs did. It was their goaltender they relied on, and boy, was he solid.
Looking forward to the rest of this tournament. It's great to call it with you, Cristiano. It was a great game, and I think we enjoyed this one. Looking forward to seeing how this one plays out the rest of the way.
Oh, absolutely, Sam. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Stick right here on our YouTube, on the ACHA YouTube page, as number 1 Minot State takes on number 16 Arizona. We'll wrap it up here. Again, Adrian wins it 4-0. Good night from Columbus.